And I believe no other free zone have such incentives, like having group of companies around providing leasing, financing, and all this infrastructure, which is obviously needed for the
Absolutely.
We are in Tbilisi, in the headquarters of Hualing Free Industrial Zone, and I'm interviewing Mr. Joseph Nibladze, who is the Executive Director of the Free Zone. Joseph, thank you for having us here. Thank you for this interview. As you know, in the content that we have provided before, we have mentioned how the free zones in Georgia work and what tax incentives free zones in Georgia offer. We have briefed you about withholding taxes, no corporation tax for the companies based in free zone, and many other benefits. Joseph, our viewers know from our perspective as professionals from the private sector of what are the benefits of the businesses located in the free zone. Could you please say this in your own words as the representative of the free zone? What Hualing free zone can offer to the potential investors and businesses that want to relocate to Georgia?
Cesare, thank you, first of all, for this opportunity to speak about the free zone in Georgia, our free zone, and the investment opportunities inside the Hualing free zone. I'll give you a short intro about our company first. We are part of Hualing Group, which is a very strong investment company in Georgia that has been investing in this country for more than 15 years. It has a diversified investment portfolio, which comprises of around 7 to 8 businesses, business segments, and the total value of the portfolio is more than $600 million US.
Great.
So these figures can say about themselves. Investing in Georgia is a very solid and stable opportunity for the foreign investors, and our company has been doing it for, as I told you, for more than 15 years, and we continue to follow our plans to increase the investments, including inside the free zone. Now, back to your question. Free zone, of course, as it says from its name, it is tax-free. This is one of the key advantages of the free zone, but not only. Regarding taxation, as you rightly stressed, all companies inside the free zone are exempt from all taxes as long as the company is doing producing or manufacturing or assembly or physical trading, import, export of goods.
So let's give an example here for our viewers. So in order for the company to use the benefits of no taxation, the company must be located within the free zone and the activities of the company must be maintained within the free zone. So the clients shouldn't open consulting businesses in the free zone, but they should rather open industrial business, manufacturing, and anything that is physically located here in order to use the benefits, right?
Absolutely right, Cesare. This is predominantly all advantages affect the companies that physically do the business through the free zone, and it's predominantly manufacturing and trading businesses, whereas consulting and other services have limited benefits in terms of taxes. Yeah. Also, it's important to mention within the topic of taxation, it is important to mention that the companies, especially I'm stressing on the production and manufacturing companies, are eligible to get the certificate of origin of Georgia. And as we know, Georgia has the unique advantage to hold the free trade agreements with many regions and the countries in the world.
Would you give some examples of these countries so that our viewers can see how they can benefit with trading?
Absolutely. One of the most notable regions is EU itself, and Georgia is one of the few countries that has this free trade agreement. Actually, it is called Deep and Comprehensive Free Trade Agreement, which we possess with the European Union since 4 or 5 years ago already. And this means that practically all products made in Georgia, granted certificate of origin status within Georgia, can gain tax-free access to the European market, EU markets. Another important country is China. And also here, Georgia is also very unique because it is one of the few countries that has the status in trade with China. Among other countries, these are former Soviet Union countries, predominantly CIS countries, Turkey, and we have certain trade advantages regimes with US, Japan, beyond, which is called GSP, Generalized System of Preferences, which means that in essence, the following is the situation. Georgia, which is strategically located in the cross point of Europe with Asia.
On the Silk Road.
Exactly. Has the unique opportunity to host the investors, which will have geographically convenient access to both markets, plus enjoy trade benefits, as I mentioned.
So you're saying that Georgia, and especially Free Zone, can be a trading hub, for example, between China and the European Union?
Absolutely, absolutely. This is also getting topical in the after or during COVID emerged challenges in logistics, which made it clear that so-called nearshoring is getting very, very topical in this, specifically in Eurasian continent, because due to all this global logistics problem, lack of optimization in supply chain, containers, etc., as we know, the tariffs on the global logistics has increased dramatically. And if, for example, 40-feet container transportation costs from Chinese ports used to cost around $3,000, now it's more than $12,000. So now it's a reshuffling in thinking of the business entrepreneurs, and it's getting very important to be close to your consumer markets. So Georgia, with its, again, taxation benefits, locational benefits, can play an important role, and also the free zone, because virtually you can access European countries within 2 days from Georgia. So that is key and one of the most important points in the perspectives of the development of manufacturing sector generally in Georgia through free zones.
All right, that sounds great. Before we came to the free zone, we have been around and we see a very good infrastructure. I believe on the area of the free zone, there are these trading facilities like warehousing facilities and shops outside the free zone. And we have also seen a huge part of real estate development built by the Hualing free zone company. How would you comment the infrastructure around this area in Tbilisi? And how would you comment the infrastructure in Kutaisi, where actually your operations regarding the industrial zone are located?
Well, that's a good question. Actually, what Hualing understood during the years of operations, and generally, I'll tell first about the free zone itself, which is located in second largest city in Georgia, in Kutaisi. We have understood the very fact that unless we provide excellent infrastructure, it is the competitive environment generally in the region in the micro region of so-called Caucasus region and wider region, which includes Gulf countries, Turkey, Central Asian countries, etc. We need to be we need to be a high service provider in that sense. And typically our services include to have strong infrastructure, a strong base, the comfort for the investors. And we pretty much work under the unofficial slogan that we want to enable businesses as smooth as possible, as fast as possible. Respectively, within last 5 years of our operations, we're just 5-6 years old, we have managed to become the top free zone in Georgia in terms of being a home to the number of industries. We have quite a lot of industries already operating, and there are certain projects which are upcoming, and we're on the verge to sign these strong, very nice and long-term contracts with new industries. And we are one of the top emerging free zones, and this is a pure result of the fact that we focus on the fact that, one, we need to provide them the infrastructure. We totally understand and we totally try to follow all the global and regional challenges that have been a fact inside our universe for the last 2-3 years. And therefore, as much as we provide infrastructure, ready-made buildings, facilities, communication, services, on-site services, etc., we also try to give it to the affordable tariffs through the sacrificing our own commercial requirements, because free zone is not a 1 or 2 year project. It's a long term. So once the industrial project comes in, they have to stay there for a while. So which gives us more stability to make our proper planning the way that we help the industries to come and start business within the most effective environment. And once their commercial success intensifies, then we can think of, collecting certain profits for our company. So which is a win-win to both parties, us as the developers and the investors or industrial companies or manufacturers or traders who are incomers. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Great, thank you. This actually answered my potential next question, which was related to the support that the free zone can provide to the investors. And I would like to ask you, as you know, we are recommending large number of clients to your free zone. Our clients are very happy with the service and with the infrastructure and facilities that the free zone provides. But how would you answer the question of what's the competitive advantage of being located in your free zone, and how Hualing free industrial zone might be a better choice rather than other free zones that exist in Georgia?
Well, yes, partly I have answered that question as well. Again, geographically, we are considered to be at the right spot. Why? Because we're 90 kilometers away from Poti Port, which is nothing in terms of logistics. We are virtually next to the international airport of Kutaisi, which is the host to practically, at least pre-COVID era, we have been covering whole Europe and pretty much Asian continent. We are 200 kilometers away from Tbilisi, capital. And as we know, there is a lot of focus from the government of Georgia on the development of the transportation infrastructure. And within 2 years from now, there will be like 1 hour and a half worth of time frame needed to reach from Tbilisi to Kutaisi. So within the city, within the country, we are on the very right spot. This is one competitive advantage. The second is, of course, infrastructure, availability of the buildings of various sizes, shapes. This is crucial. This is crucial because the investors, they need the fast reaction. They don't have the comfort to think well ahead. Especially we're speaking about SMEs. We are hosting only SMEs, small and medium-sized enterprises, and within this volatile environment, business environment generally, they don't have time for building. They don't want to spend resources in building. They want to start the business as fast as possible, as cheap as possible.
And you can provide the infrastructure.
Exactly. That's why we totally focus on the infrastructure, so that even though Georgia lacks bureaucracy, we want to enable businesses within days.
Mm-hmm.
So once we sign the contract, all the investor needs to do is to bring equipment. And here also we help. And how do we help? Within our group, Hualing Group, we own also one of the notable banks in Georgia. And there's another sister company, which is called BB Leasing. And we have the agreement, this trilateral agreement, that all the companies coming to the free zone can get the access to the preferential support from this financial organization, for example, through the leasing of the equipment. And we do provide the services, joint services. So in terms of finances, if we take the cost structure of the manufacturing company, no matter what industry we speak, the infrastructure, the building is available at the very concessional rates. I don't want to speak beyond it. Regarding equipment, which is the second largest composition in the cost structure of the manufacturing projects, here they also have the opportunity to sign this so-called lease contract and get financing support. We also know that Georgia has so-called Enterprise Georgia project, which is also applicable to the free zone companies, which pretty much reduces the financial burden coming from the banks. And there is this nice financial support for free zone companies as well. So pretty much, if the deal is made, the company can start through manufacturing through only needing working capital. They just need to bring the raw materials. They have equipment, they have the infrastructure, house, communications, connections, utilities, everything. They just start and they just start gaining money. That has been the key factor for us in this competitive environment.
And I believe no other free zone have such incentives, like having group of companies around providing leasing, financing, and all this infrastructure, which is obviously needed for the investor to enter Georgia.
Well, from one point of view, to be honest, I wished we all had, because our development also, I have to admit that unless other free zones started to develop in Georgia, it would be difficult for us to gain that credibility only through us. So as much as all free zones in Georgia are developed, are sophisticated in their products and services, it's a win-win to all of us. So Georgia has to get that image, and we definitely do lack the informational campaign in many target markets.
Definitely.
That Georgia can be the house which can give the cost effectiveness and the quality at the same time.
But this is why we're here, and this is why we are recording this video.
This is why I'm so thankful, that because it is really very important, and thank you, Cesare, for that, and generally your team ibccs Tax. It is a very fruitful cooperation that we have with the organization for years already, and we certainly hope that through our partnership, we're going to get some good things going in Georgia.
Definitely. Plus, what I would like to add about the competitive advantage of this free zone. and the cooperation that we have is the different attitude. The attitude of Hualing Free Zone is definitely on the European level, if not better. Our clients are very happy because the service in the free zone is very efficient. The company can be registered in literally one day. The communication with the colleagues of the free zone is amazing. It's efficient. People are responding to emails, queries, and as our clients know, you're allowing to meet in person to discuss different business opportunities. So this is definitely a competitive advantage, and I would like to mention this as the representative of the private sector and as the attorney of our clients that are using your services. So thank you for this, and I hope this kind of service can be provided by all the companies in Georgia.
I do certainly hope as well.
On 21st of July 2022, during the business delegation, we will be having a business forum, a conference in Batumi, where Joseph Nibladze, as representative of the Hualing Free Industrial Zone, will be one of the speakers and supporters of the event. So if any potential investor from abroad would like to meet the free zone, we're inviting you to come to Batumi on 21st of July.
I just want to comment on this event, which is planned in the middle of July. I was the part of, as you know, I was the part of the event last year, and I would strongly urge people who want to, or at least has the interest in this country, no matter it is free zone, it is generally understanding Georgia better, knowing Georgia better, knowing the benefits and advantages of the country, and not only from the business perspective, take this chance and participate in this event, because last year's event was huge success. Literally, I'm saying it was a huge success. It was very interactive, very interesting. It covered a wide range of topics, and it was very informative, and one of the most pleasant and memorable events that I have ever participated. So definitely this year we expect even more interesting advantageous business forum, and we will definitely participate and present further about the investment opportunities in the free zones, and we will be also jointly welcoming a lot of potential investors and people who are interested in Georgia.
And what I would like to add, that during this delegation there will be an on-site visit in Hualing Kutaisi industrial zone. So if you want to see what kind of infrastructure Hualing provides in Kutaisi, come to the event, come to the delegation. We're waiting for you.